just a few more little tidbits. So this is the final assembly going together. The tails are all connected now. I must say these connectors are really excellent, these connector covers, so I strongly recommend that people use those. This is the BCM Fooler with the 48 volt 50/50 volt additional voltage converter inside, and I've just changed it slightly. I've just added a standard sort of power socket thing. This plugs into the back of the MCM here. Because the MCM, I've just added a socket at the back. This is just to make it still plug and play, so I didn't have to hack into the harness at the front. The other option was to hack into the harness, so this just connects to here. These are ignition controlled, 12 volt and ground, so when the ignition's on, this activates, powers up obviously the BCM Fooler. So it's basically all ready to go together now, so another 5 minutes putting it all together. And it should be ready to test in the car this afternoon. Oh, one more gotcha. When I was testing the, in fact I'll turn it on now. When I was testing the CAN bus, and obviously I was expecting that to work straight away. It didn't, and I was concerned about there was some major serious problem, but it wasn't a serious problem, but it was quite an annoying one. So I've plugged my OBD2 CNC in now, and you can see it's telling me there's a, so you may not be able to see this, 120 volts, the highest is 2.562 and lowest is, whatever it said there, I missed it now, 2.541, so they're within about 40 millivolts of all the blocks, so that's fine. I did balance those manually, the blocks to 30.6 volts, which was the highest one I had earlier on, so I manually balanced all the blocks. So the cells are all pretty even as well. So the gotcha was that when you're fiddling around with these, especially if you've had the tops off, it's quite easy to unclip this tail from the actual BMS board inside. And I wasn't getting any readings from several of the boards, or two of them in fact, and it was corrupting information for the others, so I couldn't work it out. So eventually I took the tops off, or just pulled the bung out, and you could see that it had pulled out or wasn't properly clipped into the BMS board, so that's something to watch out for. It is quite easy to accidentally unclip those, but once they're in, of course, they won't come out again. So I had two that were unclipped out of the four, so that's why that wasn't working correctly to start with. So just going back to the OBD2 CNC CAN, you can see it's chugging away there quite happily, telling us what the voltages are, and everything is basically ready to go. Just going to put the cover back on the MCM, put it back into position, bolt it all back down, plug it all in, and it'll be ready to go out into the car. And so one of the reasons I did this little mod at the back here was so that I didn't have to fiddle with the harness. So it's all plug and play at this end. There are no cuts to make into the standard IMA harness here. All the mods are actually on the block, and it should be ready to go this afternoon. Fingers crossed.